Hey guys, welcome back to Founders Talk. Today we're going to talk about how to talk to investors without giving away your secret sauce. Every founder faces the same dilemma. You need to excite investors, but you're terrified of telling them too much. You want to paint the vision, explain how revolutionary your technology is, but you also know the moment you say exactly how it works, you can't unsay it. I call this the disclosure dilemma. It's the moment when you think, am I inspiring them or arming them? Today, I want to help you fix that, to teach you how to talk to investors with confidence, how to build trust without giving away the secret sauce, and how to protect what's yours while still getting the funding you need. First, let's talk about the reality of disclosure. Let's start with the harsh truth. Every time you talk about your technology publicly, whether that's at a pitch event, a demo day, or even in a casual investor coffee, you're creating what the law calls a public disclosure. Once something is publicly disclosed, your patent clock starts ticking. In the US, you have 12 months to file, but in most of the world, Europe, China, Japan, that window doesn't exist. Once it's public, it's gone. I've seen brilliant founders lose their ability to patent globally because they were too eager to show off their prototype on LinkedIn or at a pitch event. And here's the irony. Those same founders were trying to raise capital, not realizing that the one thing investors value most, intellectual property, had already become unprotectable. That's why understanding what you can and can't say is not paranoia, it's strategy. Let's talk about what to say and what to hold back. So, how do you actually talk about your innovation safely? Think of your pitch like an onion, 3 layers deep. First layer is the problem layer, the pain point in the market. This layer is safe. You're explaining what's broken. Here's an example. Most drone systems today struggle to navigate dense urban spaces safely. That's a problem. Here's the second layer, the solution layer. What your product achieves. Also safe. Talk about outcomes. Here's an example. Our system uses AI-driven navigation that adapts in real time. It reduces collisions by 80%. Perfect. Here's the third layer, the method layer. This is how it achieves the result. This is your secret sauce. This is the layer you protect. Investors need the first two layers to understand your opportunity. They don't need the third layer to believe in your business. If you can explain what your product does and why it matters without describing exactly how it works, you've mastered investor communication. This is where founders often get tripped up. They think being transparent means showing all the code, all the algorithm, all the process details. But transparency is not exposure. Transparency is clarity about impact. All right, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about how provisional patents can create breathing room. Now, if you're worried about how to protect your secret sauce before you start pitching, there's a tool built exactly for that, the provisional patent application. A provisional patent is like planting your flag. It says, we invented this first. It gives you a full year of breathing room. 12 months to talk to investors, test your market, and refine your idea safely. It's affordable, it's fast, and it doesn't require final claim language. You can file as soon as you describe your concept clearly enough that someone skilled in the field could reproduce it. Once you filed, you can legally use the phrase patent pending. And that simple phrase changes everything. It tells investors we take ownership seriously. We're de-risking the company, and you can invest without fear of copycats. Let's tell a story. All right. One of my clients had built a new IoT valve for smart irrigation. They were hesitant to pitch because they hadn't filed yet. We drafted a quick provisional, less than 10 pages, just enough to secure the concept. And 2 weeks later, they pitched at an AG Tech accelerator, confidently showing performance data. 6 months later, that patent pending status helped them close a $1.1 million round. That's the power of filing early if it gives you freedom to speak boldly. All right, guys, let's talk about the NDA myth. Let's talk about one of the biggest misunderstandings out there, the NDA. I can't tell you how many founders start meetings by saying, before I tell you anything, will you sign an NDA? Here's the reality. Most investors, especially VCs, won't sign one. It's not because they want to steal your idea. It's because they see hundreds, if not thousands of startups a month. They can't risk being sued later if another founder pitches something similar. So, relying on an NDA to protect you in fundraising is like relying on a handshake to keep your wallet safe at a crowded concert. Instead, focus on protecting by design, building your own safety nets before you talk. Your protect by design checklist. First, file a provisional before any deep dive meetings. Second, practice your safe pitch. Know exactly what not to say. Third, keep a disclosure log. Date who you spoke with and what was shared. Fourth, if you have to share more technical detail, label the documents confidential and provide only after investor commitment. This approach gives you the same protection an NDA would without depending on someone else's signature. All right, guys. Let's talk about designing a safe and powerful pitch deck. Your pitch deck is another place where founders accidentally give away their edge. I've reviewed hundreds of decks where I can practically reverse engineer the product from slides. That's not a pitch. That's a free blueprint. Here's how to design your pitch deck safely and effectively. Number one, talk about benefits, not blueprints. Say, our process increases battery life by 40%. Don't say, we use a proprietary four-phase lithium balancing circuit. All right. Number two, use visuals strategically. Show diagrams of workflows or outcomes, not internal architecture. Number three, label sensitive slides. A simple confidential. Do not distribute. Footer shows professionalism and awareness. Number four, control circulation. Send decks through trackable platforms like DocSend, not as open PDFs. Disable downloads if possible. Remember, your goal isn't to impress investors with technical detail. It's to convince them that the details exist and that they're protected. If you want them to say, that's genius, not, let me jot that down how they did that. Let's run through a couple common founder mistakes because awareness here can save you months of pain. Number one, crowdfunding before filing. Platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo are public disclosures. Once your product pages goes live, the global patent window closes. Always file before you launch. Number two, demoing at conferences. Even a small industry expo counts as a public display. You can't say later, it was just a prototype. Number three, talking freely under stealth mode. Stealth mode helps with marketing, not IP. If someone else files first, stealth doesn't protect you. All right, guys. Number four, oversharing in investor Q&As. When investors ask about your tech, it's okay to say, that's covered under our pending patent. Happy to explain the results, not the method. They'll respect that answer. All right, guys. The founders who lose their edge aren't careless. They're too eager to prove they know their stuff. Restraint is a business skill. All right, guys. I want to talk to you a little bit about the investor's perspective. It's important to remember good investors aren't trying to steal your idea. They're trying to assess execution risk. They want to know, can you build it? Can you protect it? And can it scale? So when you've demonstrated that you filed, documented, and thought about IP, you're actually reducing their risk perception. A simple sentence like, we filed a provisional covering our core process and have 2 additional filings in preparation tells them that you're disciplined, organized, and serious about ownership. That's what turns curiosity into confidence. All right, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about building culture of confidentiality. Founders set the tone of how information is handled inside of a startup. Train your team early. Use NDAs with contractors and developers. Keep shared drives secure. Have an internal policy. Before any external meeting, ask, do we have a filing? Are we safe to share this? Protecting IP shouldn't be your lawyer's job. It's everyone's job. Because the reality is, leaks don't just happen in investor rooms. They happen when an engineer posts a demo online or a designer adds your prototype to their portfolio. Make protection part of your culture, and investors will notice. All right, guys, some final takeaways. Let's bring it all together. Fundraising is all about telling a great story, but it also is about protecting the story's ownership. Here's your founder's checklist. File first, pitch second. Even a simple provisional changes the game. Number two, explain outcomes, not methods. Investors invest in results. Number three, control your deck and your disclosures. Number 4, document everything. Keep records of what you shared and when. Number 5, create an IP conscious culture. Because every time you share your innovation, you're either building value or giving it away. And in this world, once it's out, it's gone. So, before your next investor call, take one small step. File that provisional. Review your slides and rehearse your safe pitch. You'll speak with confidence, you'll look more professional, and you'll walk away knowing you shared your story, not your secrets. Your secret sauce is what makes your company special. Protect it, respect it, and let it work for you, not against you.